right. Oh my goodness. I didn't realize I was online. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to my live. My name is Carmen. For those that don't know, welcome to my live Wednesday night sew along segment. This is not a learn to sew, but rather a sew as you go. I'm sewing and giving my experiences on my respective projects. And today I'm doing a very special project. Hi, Brittany. I'm creating reusable pads and wet bags. So I've done this a million times. Let's hope it all goes to plan. I had to be on time though. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. Hi, Brittany. How was your live today? How was your live, girl? I am actually going to thread a bobbin real quick. Please pardon me while I prepare myself. Britt, we gotta meet. Meet you, Terrence and Renee. All right, y'all. So if you would actually like to participate or try your own reusable pad, I've included a link to a pattern, a free pattern. That's the one I'm going to use because I actually lost the pattern that I was supposed to use today. But it's still the same process. I'll explain the method that I'm using versus the one that I am part of a group here in Philadelphia. They are a artisan group, but they're also a group that creates these products to send over to all places across the diaspora, including Africa, Cuba, places where girls don't have access to these products. What's that? What kind of bag is that? So we're just gonna thread a bobbin. So this should be a really quick live, y'all. So we're gonna start off with the pad. So the pad is fairly simple, right? It's only two pattern pieces. It is the outer layer. What are they called? The wings, they call this, and then the absorbency layer. So I'll go into like what each layer entails. And I actually have used reusable pads. I have used them in the past myself, and they do work. Which one? Now you got me curious. I'm like, what are you talking about, Britt? I'm like, what I'll use, Lord? Now I'm afraid. Now I'm afraid, girl. I'm like, what you talking about? What don't I use? And if I don't use it, why are you using it? If I don't use it, why are you using it then? And we also need a needle. So essentially, what the components of a reusable pad are typically these. So you have the outer layer, which is typically like a cotton, and that is what touches your cootie cat. And then you have a waterproof layer. Today I'm using vinyl. But what they typically use, like if people that sell them or people that send them other places, they use something called PUL. It is a like sort of component of polyurethane, I think. But basically, it's a waterproof layer. And then you have the absorbency layer. So today, for the absorbency layer, I'm just using some fleece, and that's what I typically use when I make my own. But if you are again doing it at an industrial level or mass producing it, typically what they will use is something called Zorb. Okay. But yeah, I'm using stuff that, and this is stuff that I've used on myself, and you want to use things that are non-toxic. But yeah, it's such a great feeling to participate in it. And I'm trying to figure out. So, BSN is having a day of service in November. This is the organization that I want to support. I just want to, hey, Shem, I want to figure out the way in which I want to support the org. So, anyway, again, I have used reusable pads because I was just curious about their experience. And I used to actually keep them in, like when I travel, I'll like, throw it in just in case I need it, somebody else needs it, you just never know. So yeah, I will carry a spare in my luggage because sometimes you'll be places and don't have access to shit. um you won't have access to like a market right away, so I do carry these on travel. Hey, Tammy. Hey, Chike. All right, y'all. So this is going to be real quick. Again, if you want to try it out yourself, I've included a pattern you can try out. And the way that they do it in the pattern, I'm doing it a little bit differently. I'm doing it according to the organization that I how they do theirs. And the difference is the one in the that is linked in the description, they hide their absorbency layer. With PASHI, they show it. Okay. Let me see. Did I upload the media asset? Please say I did. Um, let me see. Let me show y'all. Let me see if I can show y'all their process. And video file. Let me see. Let me see. I just sent myself a video file. They may or may not let me. Okay. Let me see. Here so you can kind of see their process. It is like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like an 8-step process, and they like have an assembly line at the PASHI organization. So on the like the first step is you see the outer layer and the inner layer. Let me see if I can upload the actual picture. It might make it easier for me to explain. Hi, Catrice. All right, let me upload this picture real quick. Here we go. Let me see. Here we go. All right, so this is a Pan African Sisterhood Health Initiative. So that's what the words stand for. I think their organization, I think it's called PASHI.org, but I will definitely include a link to their official website later on. So the first sort of picture you see is the outer layer and the waterproof layer. So that's like the stripe you see, and then the black in the back. So my what I'm using to represent that is I'm using some red vinyl. Child, if I can find the pieces. If I can find the pieces, Lord Jesus Christ. This is why I can't have nice things. This is exactly why. Hold on, y'all. It's in here somewhere. It's in here somewhere. All right. So I think for the BSN's Day of Service, I'm gonna ask people to donate Ankara. So I'm using some Ankara fabric or African fabric, so cotton. This is what will touch your skin. This is what touches the vajayjay, right? And then what they use is POL, and it's very similar to vinyl. Very similar. Again, this is what I've used on my reusable pads that I've actually used in the future. And then basically you have the wing. So this is considered the wing, and people that you would add snaps here at the end. I'm not adding snaps today. We're just gonna go through the kind of the process. But yeah. And then let me see. Let me see if I'm explaining this right. Let me know if you all have some questions. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with the first two. So we're gonna start with putting this right side together, and then they do a little top stitch. That's the step 3. And yeah, so we'll start there for now. Okay. Let me know if you have any questions. Again, I've included a sample free pattern in the description if you would like to try it yourself. But yeah, it's not hard at all. In fact, it's not hard, but what I will say is it definitely tests my skill set. It tests my gangster, y'all. Because them curves be getting me, especially with their pattern, definitely gets me every time. So yeah. Let me know if you please could like the live. It is currently at 3 likes. If you could like it, it'd be very appreciative. I would appreciate it very much if you like it. Let me let people know I'm live. Hey, boos. We're live. Live making reusable. But let me know if y'all are sewing tonight. Okay, so I got that going. Is a vagina safe? Yes, it's safe. Yes, yes, it is safe. Oh my God, Nikki, go somewhere. Oh my God, she is a menace. A menace. It is safe. You know what they say? Probably the maxi pads that y'all be using. No, this here's the thing. In the US, it's really not acceptable practice to use reusable pads. The people that use it are the same ones that probably use like cloth diapers. Those those are the girlies that really be using it, or people that get irritated by pads. Um, but yes, they are safe to use. I've never had a breakout or whatever. And honestly, I feel like um I feel a little bit. Here we go. I feel like I have more like less accidents when I use this. All right, y'all. So I'm putting this right sides together. This is the outer layer, and this is what we're representing in red as the waterproof layer. Okay. Hi, Will. Okay. I say y'all should try it. Why not? Have at it. So also one side is bigger than the other. So make sure y'all are pinning or clipping this together. And so we're going to stitch it around for this pattern. It has about 4 or 5 different sizes. And what you can do is actually because some girls got a bigger booty, okay? For the in the place where I volunteer, they sew them all at the same time. Like they don't give them different sizes. So um bigger probably covers all the bases, so they typically go bigger. When I sew with them, they sew at like a 1/4 inch or a scant 1/4 inch, like close to an eighth. For this one, for this pattern, I think it calls for like a 1/2 inch, but I'm gonna just sew it at a 1/4 inch all the way around. Hey Renee, hey D. All right, y'all. And I'm sewing with a and you probably want to clip this a little bit more than I'm clipping it. But again, we're just testing this out. All right. I prefer theirs because I'm used to sewing it, but not Nikki being in here being a menace. Again, I'm just doing a quick little. Again, use more clips if you need to. I'm definitely being a little bit reckless with my approach. Hey, Alyssa, how are you? But yes, I have used these before. Like I said, I packed them for vacation. You just never know. I mean, I kind of know when my time is coming on, but you just never know when you'll need a backup. It don't hurt to have a backup. Is anybody else sewing tonight? Okay. Is anybody else sewing tonight? And people often ask, like, what do you do when you're in public, like with the dirty ones? That is what the wet bag is for. So the wet bag has 2 different compartments. It has one where you keep the clean pads and a part where you keep the soiled pads. So basically where you keep the soil pads, it has like it's also enclosed in like a waterproof layer so you don't have the smell and all that. Hey Eve. Okay. Oh no. So okay, so that's the thing. So I'm trying to figure out the best approach because I said like we're having a day of service. So I'm trying to number one do a few things. I want to raise money for them, but I also want to kind of collect fabric. I feel like their process, we might be able to take one aspect of the process and like do it, but it's so involved. Um, like I said, it's like 8 steps. Y'all see all these steps, and they actually have a very thorough, like they actually train other organizations to help them. But I don't know how we could do that with BSN, like for our day of service, like how I would do that. So maybe we might I might just teach people how to do it in that day, or yeah, I'm trying to think through that. My point is, I'm trying to think through that. You understand what I mean? Like, it might be a little bit difficult. So, you know, the main contribution will be, of course, financial, and so I basically clipped in here. Now, some people, like I said, this method, like for the pattern I gave y'all, they enclose the absorbency layer. They leave theirs exposed. So in the US, a lot of schools don't accept this. They donate overseas because it's not a, like in the US, they want you to do like throwaway disposable pads. This is more accepted overseas. So that's why they do it. And they even try to donate it to like the homeless, and the homeless were like, yeah, nah, we're good. So yeah, that's why they do it like out of the country. Yeah, I know. I get it. But yeah, they have tried in the past to like give it with food, but the homeless are like, nah, just give me socks. Give me socks, boo, and some hoodies. So it's an awesome project. It's an awesome initiative. It definitely, because initially I had a bunch of scraps, right? So the way that I kind of came across or came up with the ideas, I had a bunch of scraps, and somebody was like, "Oh, just make reusable pads," and I was like, "Ew!" Like in my mind, I'm like, "Ew, that's gross." So all right, so that's how this looks, and I should have clipped it, and so I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna reflip this out and clip it a little bit. But then I was like, "Yo, like that's kind of like." I had to check myself, you know what I mean, and my privilege, because a lot of people don't have access to that, and girls will literally miss school because they don't, they stay in the house because they have to deal with their period. So this could be the difference between a girl going to school for a week and not. Yeah, it's a little frowned upon in the U.S. And I don't lie. When somebody suggested it, I was like, ew. But I was like, you know what, Carmen? Don't be like that. And when I use it, like I said, I feel like a lot more confident in coverage when I have worn it versus like a little flimsy, always. So I'm just going around with my pink and shears. Um, you certainly could. You certainly could. Listen. I like, now that I've done it and I've been part of the initiative, I have a lot more respect for it. But I was one of the people like, ew. I ain't gonna lie, you know what I mean? But after like education and learning more, I view it a lot differently than I used to. So I definitely was one of them. All right, so I'm just going around with my pink and share, and they literally have like, and it's like older women. They are so cute. Um, a lot of retirees, and they just have awesome stories, child. I just love going there, and they love having me. Okay, they be feeding me. I adore them, and it's like very like community oriented. Like, even though it's potluck style, it's us. So I trust us. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm saying. All right, so here it is. You do a little clip in the center and you flip it, okay? Hi. Listen. Hey, Dr. Jen. Dr. Jen knows them. Nah, like Dr. Jen, they in their 70s and 80s. Are you in your 70s or 80s? No. Dr. Jen, you know Mama Maisha and Dr. Jen knows them as well. Because they have like a artisan quilting group too. So it's like they be together like 2 to 3 times a week, child. They are so cute. But I was telling them, Dr. Jen, I was like, yeah, their process is like involved. All right, y'all. So here it is. So I clicked it with the pink and shears. So what they do next is they iron it. So I'm gonna press it with my aliso. All right. And then we're going once my iron gets hot, we're gonna press it and then we're gonna top stitch it all the way around. Just like that. So you have your outer layer and your waterproof layer. Again, I've included a pattern in the description if you want to try it out. So typically I just do the wings. Like I'm pretty good at that. I don't do the other ones. But I'll still walk through to explain the process. In fact, I might reach out to Oliso and tell them they need a couple project irons. All right. So that's how it looks. So I'm gonna go all the way around, stitch all the way around, and top stitch it. But I totally agree. Dr. Jen, as an educator, you know why they don't accept these in like Philadelphia public schools? Like for donations? Dr. Jen said they prefer the tampons. But do you know like why the US schools wouldn't want the reusable pads? Can you kind of speak to that? Dr. Jen, I'm sure can speak to it better than I can. Oh. Okay, there's that. She said the kids won't use them. There's that. Well, there's that. Not them little kids. Them little rugrats ain't gonna use them. Little spoiled so. Yeah, I figured as much. All right. Yeah, it's just not. It's not an accepted practice really here in the U.S. It's not an accepted practice. Hey, Sen, I know you're working on a community service project. Sen, what are you doing? I saw you doing something, girl. All right. So it's literally an assembly line, like one table. I just do the first part before I turn it. I'll sew the wings like right side together, like a whole bunch of them. Another table will turn them. Another table will press and top stitch them. Like it's literally like, because everybody also isn't like a strong sewer. I mean, they can get the job done. Um, but you don't have to know how to sew to participate. Like some people are literally they use a die cutter. It's like a manual Cricut. Think manual Cricut. To cut out the a lot of teachers have used die cuts. Um, but yeah, it's a great way to like practice. Listen, doing curves, child, it be testing my gangster every time. Okay, every time. How many did you make, son? Hey, Auntie Carol. All right, so here we go. That's how it looks on the back. My top stitching it's a little janky. My sewing machine was not filling the pool. All right, so we got that project part done. Like there's people that literally just do the snaps. So there you go, front back done, waterproof layer done. Okay. So again, some people do the absorbency layer and hide it and kind of flip it in, hide it, but that's not how they do it. So let's look at the picture to go to the next part of the process. So now we're going to the bottom. So I finished all of the 4 steps at the top. Now we're going to work on the absorbency layer. All right, so we have again one absorbency layer. Child, where's the rest of it? Where is the rest? So I'm going to use fleece, but they use Zorb. It's something called Zorb, and Zorb, it absorbs about 6 times the amount of like fleece or whatever. It's something crazy, some crazy number. And then you also want to include a waterproof layer at the bottom of this. Now they serge this for the sake of this. I'm just going to use a zigzag stitch, but they have an industrial serger there, and they also use a little tape. That the tabletop sergers really don't do well because they do like 6 layers or something. They do some crazy amount of layers. That the tabletop serger really doesn't. It doesn't perform well with it. But I'm just gonna use a zigzag stitch for the sake of today. Just imagine it's a serger. Okay. Is it too late to do the dresses, Sin? So, aforementioned, BSN is collaborating with different groups across the country. So, I know in Chicago, they are doing mending. They're mending people's stuff in the community. And Shamir is doing dowels. Shamir love a dowel, child. Shamir love doing a dowel. Okay. Who else? In Montserrat and in Baltimore, they're teaching little girls how to sew. With different girl organizations. It's the gyms are in Baltimore, and the brownies are kind of Girl Scout like group is in Montserrat. Philly, again, we're doing PASHI, but I'm trying to figure out the capacity in which we're gonna what our role will be. Oh, you had to mail them? Okay. What's cute? All right, y'all. I'm just gonna do a very rough. Did I do this wrong? I feel like I'm doing this wrong. I feel like I'm doing this wrong. Hold on, let me look at this picture. Okay. All right. We're gonna do the best we can with what we got. All right. I'm not doing it wrong, Dr. Jen. I thought I was, but I am fine. I told you I'm only responsible for one part of the process. Jeez. Not Dr. Jen not believing in the kid. Dr. Jen, relax. I got this. I got this, Dr. Jen. All right, so I'm just doing a zigzag stitch all the way around, and we'll clean it up. I feel like I can go a little bit wider. And we'll just clean it up with the rotary cutter. Not Dr. Jen not believing in me. Why is this moving so slow? Again, they do this part with the serger. So I am mimicking what a serger would do. Dr. Jen, I need you to believe in me, girl. I am not YOLOing. It's hard when I'm not used to doing every part of the process. I have my role. I have roles. Now, YOLOing would be me going rogue. I'm not going rogue. I'm just Dr. Jen. I just feel like this is going so slow. Maybe it's the wrong stitch. Let me try 9. I knew it was going slow. I was using the wrong one. Okay. Now, we're going to clean this up. That's how it looks. We're going to clean this up. We're going to clean this up with my little rotary cutter that I got from the dollar store. I only know that it works to get the job done. Not the dollar store, Dollar Tree counter freaking days. I'm taking this right back. Dollar Tree counter days. Counter days, Dollar Tree. Child. How did this come off? What is this? Oh, we'll figure that out. I'll be taking my little rotary cutters back too. Don't play with me. All right, so we're gonna clean this up. Again, the surgeon would have taken care of all of this, but we're gonna clean this up with our rotary cutter. We're just gonna clean her up a little bit. Again, for this pattern, if you follow directions according to that pattern, I'm just using it for the pieces. This would have been hidden. This layer would have been hidden. Okay, that's how it's looking for all intents and purposes. Do who take with? Oh yeah, Dollar Tree takes returns. They gonna take this return. They do. Okay, they absolutely do. Just FYI, if you didn't know that, they do. And I'll be taking this back tomorrow. All right, so that's how it look. So the next thing they do, let me show you the picture. Let's go step by step. So if we go to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, kind of 5.5 or 6, right? You'll see there are some quilting lines there. They manually add the quilting lines with a zigzag stitch. So it's like simply like going back and forth, back and forth. So that's what I'm going to do next. We're going to quilt it. And that kind of like, those grooves are very like, they have grooves like that on your maxi pads if you ever pay attention. So it's like replicating that. All right. So I'm just going back and forth, back and forth. Again, it's not hard. Okay. Not my machine does not. What the fuck? Child. Lord, make me a, a sewing machine ambassador. I just don't want to have to make the content. If going live was enough, I would definitely do that. Oh, that's why. Oh, this is getting all knotted up. What is going on? Not my machine. Ugh. So we just want to pull another piece of thread. I don't care at this point. Mm-hmm. Well, another bobbin bites the dust. Another bobbin bites the dust. Listen, Shamir, how far are you with your if y'all haven't already got your Vicky Souls patterns for the month, Vicky Souls, their website is about to go down. Shamir's making a couple patterns from them. I bought some patterns today. I need to actually check out my patterns. They're in the cart waiting. We're trying a couple Russian patterns. Super excited about that. Just because I'm being a little cheap and I want more patterns. Shem 10 is a number. Okay. All right. Yeah, that look crazy. All right. Here we go. So that's how it's looking. You can kind of see on the back. So that's how it looks on the front. So the next step is we're going to add that to the top and just do a straight stitch. And you want to make sure you're adding it the right side to the right side. So it's like one side of the pad is bigger, the front is bigger than the back. You know, because you have more space in the booty. You got a little bit more space in the booty. So we're going to match this up like such. And we're going to just do a straight stitch around. So once I find my pins, I mean, I could just put a couple clips, put the straight stitch on. Just like that. And we're just going to do a straight stitch all the way around. Again, I can make a full set. So I typically like to have like 4 to 5 of these. And you can buy those, what do they call them? Wonder snaps or something? Those plastic slats. That's what they use. They're not using metal snaps. They're using like those plastic snaps. Y'all know what I'm talking about? The little plastic ones. And this is a great scrap buster. What? Yes, we love to see it. Shamir, ask them for your numbers for last month because again, and these are actually good. You know what else this is good for? So this is the largest size. This is also good for incontinence. If you know anybody like suffering from that, anybody that's older in your family, these are good for that too. Like if you need, like if the Depends are running a little expensive, yeah. But again, this comes in like I think 4 different sizes, and this is the largest one. All I would have to do is add snaps. But yeah, we're done. Y'all see it in the back? It's giving pad. It's giving pad. Okay. So next we're going to make the wet bag, and then we'll be out of here, y'all. So this is a nice rendition of the wet bags that somebody made me from the group. So essentially what you have is this is where the dry pads will go. They will go in the front. They will just stick them up. I don't know why they don't put a pin here. I mean a clip here, but the girls will store they would store like the clean pads here, and they would store the soil pads in here. And this is a waterproof layer, so it kind of like prevents the smell from coming through. And people ask like, how do people wrap up the pads? So you would just kind of do it similarly to how you would wrap up your sanitary napkins. You fold it like this, like, and then that there are snaps here, right, and sometimes people include 2 snaps, and then you would just keep them there. Some people wait until the end of their cycle to clean it. I don't. I do it right away. I be cleaning that thing right out. And then that's how it nicely fits in the wet bag. So we're gonna make the bag. So first I'm going to make the little strap. If I can find that shit. Okay. I'm going to just, and they use webbing. They use like a piece of webbing. Again, that bag that I showed y'all was a gift. So she used nicer fabrics or materials. They're using like webbing to make this. So I'm just going to make it from scratch. Because I'm a professional like that. I'm a bag girly, okay? I am a bag girly. All right, so I made my own strap. And so basically, what did Renee say? If you want a 1-inch strap, multiply it by 4. So that's what I did. It was like 4 inches across, I think. Did I do that right? Child, my math ain't bad then. Yeah, I did. It's about 4 inches across. It's a little less than an inch. But I'm just going to stitch it down. Because I'm a bag girly now. I'm a bag girly. Okay. Okay. Lord Jesus Christ. If you want to get fancy, you know what? I'm fancy. Let me do the other side just to be consistent. All right, so we have our one strap. Don't play with harm. Next, I'm going to prep the front of the bag. And so I'm just going to like fold that over twice. I'm doing a baby hem, like a 1/4-inch hem. Child, I don't remember how to do this. But we going. Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, living on a prayer. Okay. This is on this part. I guess it's kind of hard. I would add a snap in the front. That's just me. But I can say like, so these are basically the bags that the little girls take to school with them, like to store their stuff, like you know when they have to go to the bathroom. All right. Okay. Boom. That's the front pocket. So we got the strap done. We got the front pocket done. So now we're going to add the zipper. This is the part that be having me a little hemmed up. I ain't going to lie. This part be having me a little, it be having me a little caught up. I'm not going to lie to y'all. So we're going to sandwich this in. Again, you can base it first. That's the way a lot of them do it. But I'm a pro. So we're going to just sew this together at the same time. Who going to check me, boo? Who going to check me? Okay. I thought so. Who going to check me? Actually. So I'm taking the zipper. I'm gonna switch out my needle, my foot real quick. So we're just sandwiching this in. Again, if you're more comfortable with basting it, you can do that. That's your business. Okay. We're about to be out of here. Yes, thank y'all for supporting Shamir. All right. Yeah, she be top stitching. She be fancy with her drawing. I ain't doing all that. Who doing that? Who doing that, girl? Hold on. I know they be like, girl, Carmen, what are you doing? What are you doing? All right, so we're gonna flip that up. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. So they kind of, I know they cut it at this point. They be cutting it at the bottom. They be cutting it. Hold on, let me see. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. All right. So I'm going to basically, I'm going to kind of eye it out, but I'm going to cut along the bottom here. This part it be hemming me up a little bit here. Again, I'm not on wet bag duty, but they did teach me how to do it one time. They did teach me how to do it one time. So we're going to hope for the best. We're going to hope for the best, child. We're going to hope for the best. That's it. That's all we can do. Where's my child. So I'm going to stitch the pocket to the bottom. We're just going to stitch it at the sides and baste it. We're going to baste it to the side and baste it to the bottom. I'm just gonna keep my zipper foot on. It don't hurt. It don't hurt to keep. Oh snap! Come on, son. So I'm taking. So I cut it at the bottom because just to create that seam. So I'm taking it and I'm just basting the zipper, the pocket where they keep the clean pads at the front. I'm basting it together. Pocket. And these are honestly cute little gifts. I mean, I know you don't think about it like that, but a cute little, not the pads, but these little pouches. But that's what somebody did. They made me one as a gift, and I absolutely love it. You need some what? And I actually need to. I'm going to digitize their pattern. I've been meaning to. It's like literally the pouch is super easy. It's a square. Um, they be sending the actual physical product to overseas, and I'm like, y'all can just send them the file. Y'all know that, right? But they older. They don't. They don't know no better. They don't do that stuff. No, for real. They come in handy. I listen. The pads definitely come in handy. They definitely come in handy. I'm just top stitching the zipper on. I think I got a little too close, but whatever. In my mind, I'm doing this right, but we'll see. All right, so then I'm going to do the same thing, sandwich it in at the top. We're sandwiching it in again. Again, if you're not comfortable with the sandwich method, and I'm using Zipper by the Yard, they use like the cheap zippers that you buy from. I'm about to give them a whole bunch of these. I'm like, here y'all go. I don't know if they know how to do this though, but it will save them. I mean, they get them like cheap, but I feel like the ones that they use, y'all know them super thin zippers, they be snapping. They just buy them all. They buy like 7-inch zippers. I'm like, y'all know y'all can just get Zipper by the Yard. I have so much. I think I'm just gonna like give them a whole bunch, like make a whole bunch of them for them. Cause I have so much Zipper by the Yard, it's crazy. And I feel like the Zipper by the Yard is like a lot stronger. They use like number 3 zippers. I feel like for this, you should have like a number 5. All right, y'all. So that's where we are. Y'all see the vibes. Y'all see the vibes. Y'all see the vibes. Y'all see what's happening. Y'all see what's happening. Y'all see the vibes. I could bring that closer together. So we're gonna throw that a little bit closer together. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. And you had some matching. I mean, I know people don't care. Like once it goes down, the fabric that they be having is some of it be ugly. I'm like, who's donated that? And if you donated it, why did you have it in the first place? Why did you have it in the first place? Okay. It goes quick, Lynn. It does go quick. When I first started though, I was pretty bad. I was bad. I ain't gonna lie. But I feel like doing this though, like I volunteer for like over a year. It made me fast. It made me a better sewer. Like even though it's like simple, the process is pretty simple. Um, like the curves, especially going around curves, like it definitely helped me hit them curves a lot better. So inside of that look crazy. You know what? I did this wrong. I sold the lining wrong. It's fine. For all intents and purposes, we still won't get the point. Y'all gonna get the point today. I didn't match it up properly. Shit. I turned it like the wrong way, but it's fine. Don't do what I did. Y'all see what I did? I was supposed to like this. This is supposed to be turned, but it's fine. Y'all gonna get the point. So I'm gonna like move the zipper out the way. And also at this point, we're going to add the little this thing, the strap. It does. It absolutely does, Lynn. It absolutely does. So I'm going to add the strap right here at the top. I'm just kind of going back and forth to secure it. I know they don't finish it like that. Like they like the raw edges be showing on here on the inside for them. Like they just kind of go in and just do a box. I'm gonna do it my way. You know what? No, I'm not. I'm gonna do it how they do it. Shit, fuck that. Huh? I feel like I can do it. Nope, I'm gonna do it how they do it. So they just leave a little bit of the zipper open. I know it's a way for me to do it cleaner, but again, who cares? So they just leave a little bit of the zipper open. And they basically sew like basically a U. So let me get this together. So again, it does show the raw edges, but again, it serves its purpose. Okay. I just need one side to be right. I need one side to be right. The bottom is going to be crazy. Yeah. So one of the sides isn't going to match because I didn't do it right, but you know, I'm going to just stitch it together at the bottom. It's fine. And you just want to make sure that strap is tucked in. And you want to make sure a little bit of that zipper is open so you can flip it. Again, I made a little small blunder, but it'll be fine. Just a little mishap. How many pads? And this one, I make mine bigger. So I have a wet bag that mine is bigger. But it can hold like probably like three or four. It's supposed to just hold you over until you get home. Now, some of the girlies I see use these, like some of the hippie girlies, they have like, and they're different. So they'll have like a duffel bag, like kind of like a duffelish looking bag, like a duster kind of bag, a dust bag looking thing, and they'll wait till the end of their cycle. I don't do that. I think that's kind of gross, but that's just me. That's me. I'm like, mm-mm. All right, so I'm just going to stitch again in that U. Um, that's just me, my preference. All right, so I'm just going to stitch down. I'm going to stitch right over that zipper. Well, we ain't stitch over much because I didn't have no bobbin thread. Look at that. Oh, I'll just be out here YOLOing and YOLOing and YOLOing. Huh. Not Shishi coming in here checking on people whips. It's cute. I love it. I've had that pattern for like 2 years. I want to make it. How long did it take? Cause you know my lives, Shamir. Can I do it in one sitting? You know how I get. Is it a one sitting live? Because if I can't do it in 2 hours or less, I ain't doing it. If I can't do it in 1 hour or less, I'm not doing it. All right, let's try this again. So mad I did this to myself. So bad. Hoping this don't come out too lopsided. Okay. Zone X up. Zone X up. Let's get it popping. Y'all, we are almost done. Okay. Okay. And I'm just stitching across the bottom. I can't believe I jacked this up right there. Okay. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to clip the corners. I'll clip the zipper off. Let's hope this flips correctly. All right, that's how it looks before we flip it again. We had a little situation where I didn't match it up properly, but we are just going to flip it through. Yes, and like I said, like y'all can put these in your I should have put the strap on the other side. Like the other side, but I didn't. It's fine. I should have put the strap on this side because it looks crazy. Hold on. Let me birth this a little bit more. Like poke out these sides because they're looking a little crazy. Thank you. Child, it was, listen, I ain't gonna hold you. This fabric was about to go to the landfill. But I was like, let me let me not say that too loudly. Where's Terrence at? It comes with a matching pair of sweatpants, Shisha. Okay. All right, so here is y'all get the general idea. This should have been on that side and it should have been a little bit smaller, but either way, this is where the pocket, the front pocket, this is where your clean pads go, and in the top, this is where, yeah, I should have moved the zipper down a little bit more. It's okay, it's all right. You get the general idea. Clean pads front. Again, this will fit probably about 3 to 4 pads. So the way you clean do the pads is you fold it and then you fold the wings over. And then when you either they're in the front doesn't fit as many though. But yeah, you put it in the front. So I say about 2 can fit in the front, and maybe 3 can fit comfortably. 3 to 4 can fit comfortably on the inside. So that is your wet bag. And yeah, so that is the process. Again, more information to come on our day of service on November 15th. But here is your matching wet bag and pad. Again, really easy process. I've again used this. I've used them. I think they're great to like travel with or keep on hand for a rainy day. But yeah, this is the end product. It matches my shirt. Y'all see me. Don't play with Carm. Don't play with Carm. So yeah, we're in and out. Again, if you want to try it, I've included a free pattern. I don't have the pattern for the wet bag, but I do plan on digitizing for the organization. But it's pretty, like I said, pretty straightforward. Great cause. Can't wait to share more. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. And on that note, thanks for hanging out with your girl. I will see you guys tomorrow morning on Twitch if you're around to watch the next episode of Project Runway. But this has been fun, and I will see you guys later. Bye. Thanks for hanging out with me. Peace.